Fighting games have different archetypes of characters. We all know that. Ryu and Kimberly are in the same game, but they are not playing the same at all. So, like any YouTuber, I'm here to rank them. I'm not doing no tier list, that's just boring. But I will be ranking them, giving them a number 1 to 5, 5 being the highest and 1 being the lowest. But what are these archetypes? Well, we have Shotos, Zoners, Set Play, Grapplers, and Rushdowns. What are my qualifications for making this list? Well, I don't have any. I mean, I play fighting games, and that's really all you need on YouTube nowadays, so I'm just gonna go with it. Let's talk about grapplers, because I have a lot to say. Grapplers are pretty lame in my opinion. Look, I don't know how you make an entire character whose entire goal is to land one single move interesting, okay? Oh wait, yes I do, and we'll get to her in a minute. But which characters are grapplers in fighting games? Characters like Zangief in Street Fighter, as well as Potemkin in Guilty Gear, and King from Tekken are all grappler archetypes. But Clover, why don't you like grapplers? Because their design is flawed. Look, I think they should be here, don't get me wrong. They're fine, I guess. But within the games where characters are landing different interesting moves with cool strategies, I don't like the character who just chooses to do one mix-up off of one move consistently. And if they hit you, you take a lot of damage. The primary issue with grapplers is I don't know how you make this type of character good. Grapplers get grabs and do a bunch of damage, that's their primary goal. But how you make that fun for the person not playing a grappler? You don't. Characters like Zangief in Street Fighter 6 and Iron Tiger in Blaze Blue tend to be fairly bad compared to other grapplers because they're slow and can't move fast to actually continue their pressure. And if you make them quick, their pressure becomes unfair. See, a big thing in fighting games is a term called Oki. Oki is wake-up pressure, being able to use different types of moves when your opponent gets off the ground. Grapplers need Oki to be good, because they want the chance to grab you for this large damage. But due to their low mobility, they normally can't get this off of grabs. Thus, most grapplers are bad and fairly uninteresting, mainly used to kill casual players at a low level. The only grappler that doesn't feel this way to me is Manon in Street Fighter 6. Manon's command grab gradually gets stronger, but she also has very good combos outside of her grab. Manon Optimized is a utilization of both her grab and her normal combos. The combos deal most of the damage that don't end in the grab, but also utilize her other moves. And she's able to do decent, but the problem is she still has speed issues of a traditional grappler. Anyways, grapplers get a 2 out of 5 on the list. I wanted to put them lower, but this gimmick can be kind of cool, and Manon did show me that. Zoners. Alright, this is gonna be tough. Zoners make me very confused. They can be awesome, or they can be the most disgusting thing to fight ever. Some of the zoners that are most known consist of Guile from Street Fighter, Morgan from Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and Fairy from Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising. Zoners' entire goal is to keep you away from them. They don't want to have to engage with you at all. They chip you out by damaging your shield slowly, or have combos on hitting their projectiles that lead into other hits. Within the fighting game community, people tend to either hate zoners or play zoners. I lean into the more disliked category, but zoners can be very interesting within their playstyle. For example, Asuka R from Guilty Gear Strive plays a card game while fighting you. I'd go into more detail, but we'd be here for a while, and I already have a video that talks about Asuka, so go watch that if you're interested. Zoners like this can be really interesting though, taking this idea and making it so you're not just using the same moves to keep your opponent out, but what drags down the zoner archetype are characters like Guile and Axel, using specific moves consistently just to keep you out or shut you down. Though to give the archetype some credit, there is a woman who's going to save them just a little bit. Rachel Alucard from Blaze Blue is a great example of a mix between zoner strategies. She's able to throw down pulls and activate them whenever she chooses, summoning flying bats that explode on impact that can extend her combos. She also has a frog projectile that she's able to control space with, as well as extend combos off of using it. She also has very quick but limited mobility that she's able to use throughout the battlefield in order to reset what she's trying to do. On the other hand, another strategy within the zoning archetype is known as turtling, a strategy where one character sets at one end of the stage and fires projectiles consistently. This is also known as camping. For this reason, I don't really like zoners a lot because I think they tend to be fairly uninteresting and outright boring. Zoners get a 2.5 out of 5. They can be interesting, and it has been done several times, but majority of the time they end up being characters like Testament and Dulcine. Continuing on within the fighting game archetypes, we have Shotos. Shotos are a bit of a stranger type that needs explaining. To classify as a Shoto, the character must have a traveling normal such as Tatsumaki, they must have a fireball like Hadouken or Stun Edge, and a DP input like Volcanic Viper. Within these restrictions, it would seem that these characters would be repetitive and boring, but frankly they aren't. Shotos have a very large array of characters and are primarily reserved for the protagonists of the story, like Ryu and Luke from Street Fighter, Sol from Guilty Gear, and Ragna from BlazBlue. But each of these characters don't play similarly at all within their games. Ryu is a character of patience, using primarily fireballs until he sees an opening and dealing massive combo damage off the interaction. Sol is a much more rushdown style character, forcing his way in with a ton of buttons to force you to respect space and testing your reactions to his mix-up pressure. And Ragnar's a mix of both, but where he primarily shines is that he gains health back while he fights his opponents, when using special moves in order to stay in the fight for as long as he can. Shotos are unique within how they play. For all of these reasonings, Shotos get a 4 out of 5 due to their uniqueness and their playstyle. One of the less known archetypes is set play. Their goal is to set up specific types of moves that go off later. Characters that involve this are 9 from BlazBlue, Mei from Guilty Gear Xrd, and Minot from Street Fighter V. Let me explain. 9 has the ability to apply a status condition to you that goes off around 15 seconds after it's placed onto you. When it goes off, you take massive damage and she has major combo potential after it. Mei has the ability to put hoops on the ground where dolphins can fly in order to create screen pressure, as well as summoning a seal that throws a ball upwards that comes back down later to apply more screen pressure and combo potential. And Minot can throw an orb that she's able to retrieve mid-combo in order to continue her pressure on block strings, or continue her combo to deal serious damage. Set play characters are by far one of the least used archetypes, especially that I'm talking about, but they're so interesting and tend to be very, very different and very technical. Their gameplay allows for complex and flashy combos, as well as heavy pressure that your opponent has to deal with. They don't play similarly at all. 9 and Minot don't play the same in the slightest. 9 has long combos that allow this effect that she puts on you to go off, while Minot has combos that can be utilized both her set play and her ultimates or V-triggers. A less known example of this is Weiss from BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. This game tends to get made fun of due to the simplicity of the game, but Weiss is not a simple character. She's able to put down glyphs, a unique ability to her that's there out on the field. She's able to cancel moves using these glyphs as she passes through them, allowing for unique combo routes, overhead, and low mix-ups as well. Set play deserves 5 out of 5 stars due to their uniqueness and their creativity within the fighting game archetypes. Other archetypes don't seem to be as interestingly designed as set play characters. Lastly, we have Rushdown, also categorized in the mix-up category. Rushdown characters are as the name suggests. They want to approach you with high and low mix-ups to try to crack your defense. Normally, these characters don't have many defensive options due to their aggressive all-in playstyle. Examples of popular Rushdown characters are Kimberly from Street Fighter VI, Neo from BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, and Milio Rage from Guilty Gear Strive. These characters are all ones that rely on guessing your opponent's defense while they try to guess your offense, and I love it. They're a mind game type of character that makes you feel extremely smart when you land an opening hit. The only problem is their extremely low damage output. While other characters tend to have less mix-up options, Rushdown characters rely on it. And due to their easy mix-up options, they have lower damage output compared to other characters in their respective casts. A majority of mix-up characters tend to be knowledge checks, meaning that they have fake setups that the opponent could interrupt if they knew the gap in it. And the majority of these characters have a way to stop their jump in and get back on the ground such as the dive kick. Rushdown characters are a blast, and they give both you and your opponent a constant interaction, and learning their combos tend to be really fun due to the fast-paced nature of the character. A notable Rushdown I'd like to talk about is Milio Rage from Guilty Gear Strive. On a knockdown, all Rushdown characters want to make you guess if they're going to do a low or high, but Milio makes you guess if it's a low or high, or a left or right mix-up. Rushdowns get a 4 out of 5. I know not everyone likes them, but I think that they're a great addition to fighting games, and they are amazingly fun to play. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. That was another video that I have managed to actually finish. It took a little bit, but it's okay. You know, we have ups and downs. So I really hope that you guys did enjoy it. If you want to subscribe, that'd be actually kind of awesome. I want to get monetized so I can do stuff on YouTube. Anyways, go look at my other content that I'm very proud of. I'll try to get a new video out within the next 2 weeks. Alright, goodbye.